Hello and welcome to Motorcult, episode 39. I am Erik Berger, joined as always by my co-host Ryan Sanitsky. Hello.
Hello.
Yay, it's Sunday.
It's Saturday.
No, yeah, sorry. Yeah, it's Saturday.
No, they don't know.
In quotation fingers.
They don't know what time. They don't know what day it is.
True. Yep. We're recording on noon on a Saturday, as we always do.
As always.
Yep. And we are drinking beer, which I've got a Northeast because I haven't gone beer shopping for anything interesting.
And I've got one of the last Twilight Summer ales that were in the refrigerator.
Delicious.
It is fantastic to shoot if you've not had it before.
No,
but
I think I tried that a couple episodes ago.
Yeah, we previously reviewed that, but I'm speaking more for the listener.
Anyway, how it goes.
Let's talk. Let's jump into it.
Yep. So we're back. I actually came back from California just I think yesterday morning. You and Jana are going out on Thursday morning.
Yes, we are.
So we'll cover most of Monterey probably after you get back. We'll talk on that a little bit. But before we start on that, I want to talk briefly about. I just got to the studio here maybe 15 minutes before you did, maybe 20, something like that. I was driving my Laguna Seca Blue E46 M3 here, which is parked just outside.
Yeah.
I pull up, open the unit, get inside, open the screen, close the garage door, put my keys down, get my koozie, set my walkie-talkie down, and a cop pulls up and says, "Hello." I'm like, "Hello?" He's like, "Can I see your driver's license?" I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely. What's this about?" And he's like, "I'm conducting a traffic stop." I'm like,
where?
I'm
here?
What? I'm like, I'm what? Like I'm parked here, and they like feels the hood of my car. It's like, the hood's still warm. I'm like, yeah, I drove it recently, but like I've been here for like 5, 10, 15 minutes, and I had time to like open up and like put my keys down and everything.
Yeah.
And so he's like, "Can I see your proof of insurance too?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, I guess. Is it okay if I go into the car? It's in there." I was like, "Yeah, okay." Give him my proof of insurance. He takes it, goes to his Ford Explorer parked just outside of my unit. I go inside to get my koozie and to call my lawyer because I'm like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
And I talk to my lawyer, just tell him what's going on. He gives me some advice, just like what to do, what to make sure I do and don't do, just in this kind of weird situation. And the cop comes back, so I hang up with the lawyer, and he has a piece of paper in his hand. I don't know if it's a written warning or a ticket, but like the fact of the matter, I was in a parked car in my unit in Chanhassen.
And he never told you what you had done.
Right. So then he comes off saying, like, I clocked you doing 80 on 212. I'm like, when?
Yeah.
So anyway, long story short, he's very insistent that he clocked me doing 80, which I wasn't doing, on 212. He somehow followed me, arrived like way later in a gated community to find me parked here in this car. I grant it's a really rare color and kind of an uncommon car, so I'm sure he did see one, but like the fact that... Anyway.
I've seen other Laguna Seca
There are
Blue
a couple
M3s.
down in here.
Yeah.
There's
And
a couple in here.
Yeah, and like in this unit, and not this particular unit, but in this facility,
There's 150 garages.
Yeah, you're right. I've seen at least 2 here.
Yep. Anyway, that was a little weird. The guy was just like, he was like shaking mad because like I wasn't admitting to speeding. I'm like, well, dude, I understand you're mad, but like, if you followed me, A, I didn't see you. B, like, what the hell?
Why didn't you pull me over?
Right, like light me up and follow me. Like, what's going on? But like, longer he talks. Like, he's got this thing, and he told me like this speed amount he was gonna cite me for and all this stuff. I'm like, dude, like I'm sorry that you feel that way and you assume this is me, but like,
it wasn't me.
It wasn't me. And he's like, okay, is it possible that between wherever you came from and here, you strayed over the speed limit? Like, anything is possible. It's entirely possible. I'm only human. 65 miles an hour, could have merged off. I don't know. Maybe. He's like, just takes the ticket, folds it in half, rips it up twice. It's like, thank you for at least admitting that. Most of the time when I come up to people, they're just like, no, I would never do that. I would never speed. I'm like, well, no, of course I speed once in a while, but like, I'm not trying to do it all the time. And he goes on just tons of stories about like people down here he's like issued warnings to and like given talkings to many, many times and this kind of stuff. I'm like, dude, I totally get what you're saying, but like, you came in to like my space, accused me of doing this, going to talk to neighbors that are outside about like asking them questions, like when did he show up and this and that. I don't know. I don't want to talk the guy down because he was genuinely really nice.
He was really nice. No, but the way he went about it for traffic, like, because basically what he did is he tried to publicly humiliate humiliate you.
Right. And
I don't know why word was so hard
in
for
the
me.
middle of that conversation, I didn't know this until it was happening, but Scott was in here too. He came in a few minutes after I did. Came from the same place. And the cop apparently ran a red light, like straight up, following me.
Well, he flipped his lights on.
Yeah, but still, that's
If you flip your lights on, you can just do anything you want, right?
Yeah, he said that as long as he flips his lights on, he can do whatever he wants.
He
said that.
He said that.
Yes.
Oh.
I feel like that mindset's why
Anyway,
people
and
keep getting shot
the fact
by
that
police.
like I'm really good at spotting Ford Explorers.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah.
Like had I saw this guy following me, I would have just pulled over. I'm like, all right, what's going on? Clearly you're following me.
I'm wondering,
But like
I'm really thinking that guy probably saw like a blue M3
or like a blue 323 that's like Montreal blue or something. I don't know.
or even like Plastidip or something. I'm thinking
Could
like
be.
a Plastidip like
that
E36.
is basically a Plastidip color.
Yeah, that is.
Let's
like
offer.
I'm sure there's probably some like Plastidip E36 from some like douchebaggy dying teenager that was driving around in the area.
Yeah.
And that's what he saw, and he decided he doesn't bother you about it. Yeah, that's.
But
like,
anyway,
that's ridiculous.
I guess this kind of derailed. I didn't mean to start this like down talking the cop. He was super nice. He didn't issue me a citation for something that I didn't do.
He was very nice about it. But I think
Went about it logically, but
the whole situation that he got himself into,
Yeah.
that would disqualify him from being super nice. I think.
I just don't think he should have tried to even issue me a citation at the beginning. I'm like, I get like, come talk to me. Like, if you have concerns about people going fast in blue 3 Series, like, yeah, let's chat. That's cool.
like yeah,
Don't mind.
that can be a topic. We have a podcast. We can talk about that.
We can also talk about warm engines and all that kind of stuff. It's weird. But
Well, not only that, he puts his hand on the hood on a late August day when it is, 88 degrees outside.
we also commented on the car had xenon headlights, and I made the point. I'm like, all 3 Series coupes
Yes.
in the United States have xenon headlights.
So
Well,
this cop,
M3s anyway,
this
but-
cop, I don't think this cop was extremely nice. I think he was being
He
respectful
was-
because he knew he didn't do anything.
He was pretty
couldn't catch
nice,
you with
but he
anything.
really, I mean, he had. It didn't sound like he had much of whatever he was following up on.
I think
so-
he knew that he was wasting your time. He was trying to get you to admit to something, but he's being nice because he knew that you were on the phone with your lawyer.
I don't think he knew that at the time, because I didn't offer that I was on my phone with my lawyer, because my lawyer also advised me not to let on that I was on the phone with my lawyer.
This cop sounds totally
Anyway,
ridiculous.
on that high note, I actually kind of like that guy. If I run into him at Cars and Caves, I'll shake his hand and talk to him. It's fine. It's a
All
nice
right,
guy.
well, that's good. At least he was like nice enough for you to like him.
And he saved me from having to like go to court to like establish that the thing I didn't do.
That's
Yeah.
true.
So
which
that's pretty
historically
nice.
has not worked very well for you.
That's true.
So
Damn it.
speaking of caves,
Yes.
and which are garages, hey, did you see the story about the grandson that got some cars from his granny's garage and what she had housed in him? It was on Haggerty and Jalopnik. and
No,
everything.
however, I'm gonna open it right now because I see it's in the show notes.
This old lady had said, "Oh, yeah, I've got some old sports cars from when me and your grandfather were younger that we just want to try and get rid of. Could you help me out with that?" He goes in the garage. First thing, the least desirable car that was there was a MGTD, which is a very rare MG.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of cool.
Okay.
But in addition to that, he found a cocained out, like totally white on white with matching white wheels, Lamborghini Countach LP 5000.
500.
Yeah. Oh, is it a 500? I thought it was a 5000.
I think weren't they LP 400S? The last ones.
The 400S, the 500S, and the 5000.
It is a 500S.
And then there's a 5000 Quattrovalvole.
Oh, dude, you're right. Look at this. LP 500S, also called the LP 5000S.
Told you.
Okay, no, I'm not going to say you're wrong. I just never heard of that.
I don't know much about Italian cars, but I will tell you everything about the Countach. 'cause
So
that's the only
the
one I care about.
difference between the LP 400S I thought it was and the LP 5000S is a revised fender flare and front spoilers.
Yes.
Okay,
Anyway, so
thank goodness.
yeah, that mid-era one had like a really horrible looking safety bumper on it. And
Yeah.
they made it a little bit better later on.
Did any of them have that factory Cannonball run front spoiler on them? Like the actual like wing on the front?
No, they didn't.
Okay, that was a
that
Cannonball
was
thing.
an aftermarket thing. Yeah,
I like that.
it did look cool.
The first time I watched that movie, I'm like, this is super dumb. And then I'm like, watched it more. I'm like, this is actually really cool. I want that in my car. Put that in the Ferrari.
But in addition to the Countach, she also had a Ferrari 308.
QV or standard?
I didn't look too far into it because I was blowing my wad over my perfect.
Well, there's a
Countach.
white Countach, so yeah,
Yeah,
I wouldn't
I'd-
expect you to get any further than that.
You could have a Duesenberg next to a first-gen Sylvia, and I still wouldn't care about those cars because the Countach is there and it's dominating my attention.
Oh
But
my
no,
god, you should see how they're parked. They're parked like.
Yeah,
there's
they're
just
they're
a
parked
bunch
like
of
golf carts in a
Yeah.
maintenance shed.
Oh
they
my
really
God.
are. Like the cars just don't matter. It's so funny.
I want to know like
It
how much
mentions
money
interesting
they-
cars
Well,
housed
that-
in leaky
That
garages.
Countach is about $700,000 car, and the
No, like how much did they spend new? Like they must have spent a lot.
probably
new.
about $190,000, including the MGTD, which is probably like a $5,000 car. I think a 308 was like 85, maybe.
Well,
Yeah, I don't
so
know what
they
they
'Cause
were.
I know that the Countach was famously $100,000 when it was new.
So they knew that they like spent all this money on these cars, and they parked them like that, and just.
Well, they're
closed
just
Well,
the
it said the
garage
guy was in
and-
the rental car business,
Oh.
So they're probably
exotic rental car business
Yeah,
in
so they're-
1989.
okay. So they're probably just like old rental cars that
Yeah.
he just kept.
So they're probably not in like fab condition or anything, but doesn't really matter if they are or not.
But I just thought that was such a hilarious story. I'm just happy to see that there's still fantastic literal barn finds out there.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
I
really
mean,
cool.
I don't. The ceilings are pretty low in here, so I don't think you could fit like
well, quote
horses in
unquote
it.
barn find.
I know. I called my black M3, so African American M3, a barn find,
Yeah,
and
well,
it was in a driveway.
yeah, but I mean, it's a barn. A barn find is not literally in a barn.
No,
it's
I
just
know.
something like
Yeah.
it's something that's just been like tucked away in a corner.
That's
not
pretty
not
much what it
everybody has
was.
a barn.
It was blocking the person's entire driveway and garage for 3.5 years.
Yeah,
Oh.
so I just had to get rid of it. So anyway,
Yay!
speaking of
I suppose I should actually
wildly
pull up that link.
rare cars, why don't you tell me about how your Monterey Car Week pregame went?
Okay, so yes, I went out to Monterey. Well, actually, flew out to SFO on I guess last Thursday for the 2 days leading up to the Monterey Car Week, and that is the pre-reunion technically at Laguna Seca. So the two events I went for, the first one was there's a car show that kicks off Monterey Car Week in downtown Monterey. That happens on Friday night. I think,
Okay.
Yeah, Friday night. So that's what I actually went down there for. I got everything sorted. I got my hotel, I got my flights, got my rental car.
You see all the same cars, but without the riffraff, right?
I thought so, but the car show was worse than going to Laguna Seca the day before
Really?
because there was legitimately no riffraff when you go there. So I flew out Thursday, and I got into town. I guess no, I flew out Wednesday night. It doesn't matter. I got into Monterey at 2 in the morning, found a very cozy, quiet gravel lot on the mountain where I parked my rental Prius V, left it quote unquote running for heat because it was like 50 degrees out there.
Yeah, I told
And
you.
I slept in it.
It's not like warm. Oh, did you not even get
The
a room?
first night I slept in the Prius because I got in at 2 in the morning. I'm not paying full night hotel for like 3 hours of rest.
Yeah, it's worth it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's what I did. I slept in that thing. It was fine. And then I immediately went downtown to scope out the location for this car show the following day. And then on a whim, I decided to drive to Laguna Seca because I've never seen it before.
It's a really cool track.
It's the first thing that you see is a beige mountain with
Yep.
a sign at the bottom of it. And then you go up the steepest, sketchiest hill like ever
Yeah.
that is constantly being traversed by stackers and like trucks with priceless cars on them.
Yeah.
Like if your brakes fail, you're done.
You're done.
You're
Yeah.
done.
And
Anyway,
that mountain is endlessly eroding too. So like they're
yeah,
always having
so
to rebuild it.
that'll
Yeah.
that'll be gone someday. They'll just have to rebuild it again.
Yeah.
But anyway, I get up to the shack. There's nobody in it. I'm like, all right, let's keep driving then.
Yep, that's
so
how
I
it
drove
is.
literally all over the grounds. I mean, I went up to the camping area,
Yeah.
walked around, took pictures, and I was super satisfied.
I
just
love
with
how
that.
accessible it is.
I know,
you
it was
can get-
great.
You can get anywhere at Laguna Seca without actually going onto the racetrack, without having to like talk to anyone. It's great.
Yeah, I mean, I voluntarily talked to the people there because they're very nice. But yeah. So after I walked around as much as I could and drove around the grounds as much as I could, I actually like went back down the hill
Yeah.
and then went back to town. Then I came back a little bit later. Then there was somebody in the shack. I'm like, oh, well, hi. I'm just gonna walk around the paddock because the gift shop's open now and I need some swag
Yeah, totally.
because that's what you do.
You have to, yeah.
And they're like, oh, it's $5 for the day. I'm like, all right, there you go.
$5? Wow.
$5. I know. I could barely afford it.
Oh
There's
my
the story that
gosh.
finally showed up from the previous thing. Thank you.
You should
Sweet
put up
white
the picture where they
Countach.
look like just trash.
That's a pretty trashy looking picture of a Countach.
Well, yeah, but
But like, look, there's like a 308 parked sideways in front here.
Yeah,
Like I
it's
said,
hilarious.
they look like golf carts parked in a
if
maintenance
you
shed.
click over like the arrow one, I think that's when you'll see them covered. No, one more.
That's the inside.
There you
There you
go.
go.
There you go. Yep, just covered in crap.
There you go.
Lord.
Oh, that white Countach. But anyway,
Did,
so
how did you feel about actually seeing the corkscrew in real life?
Oh, it was great, but that was later in the day. I didn't
Yeah.
even ask the guy if I could walk up there because like I didn't
Oh.
see anyone walking up to the corkscrew. I'm like, well,
there's nothing
it's
to see
not
up
in the
there.
paddock.
No.
Well, I know, and it's like it's not a nice walk. Like it's a hike. I mean, I'm just like pale and wheezy and white, so it's a hike for me.
Yeah.
But anyway, I paid the $5 and I got across the bridge and down into the center of the track, and I stopped at the next dude there, just checking people out to make sure they're going the right place. The guy's like, you can just park down in the paddock and walk around. I'm like, no, you don't understand. I'm in a Prius. Where can I park? And he's like, oh, you can park anywhere and walk. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm going to park by the timing tower then, or whatever the hell
Yeah.
it was, and walk down. So I did. Took my camera. I've got a few photos I took. I can post I think I already posted a link to them on the Motorcult Facebook page, so you can check them out there. I'm not going to waste the time on the podcast
To actually
on
go through them?
everything. There's
Yeah.
a couple things I do want to show, mainly pre-war.
Excellent. Yay.
Yeah, that's right,
Yay.
everyone. That was Eric
Doing a
hitting the pre-war bell
For himself.
voluntarily.
So while you're getting those images up,
Yeah.
the first time I ever went to Laguna Seca was for a vintage Porsche track day that was happening when I happened to be in town visiting some family there.
That sounds pretty rad.
Yeah, and it's my first time ever having seen the corkscrew is watching like a succession of 911s, take the corkscrew, barely holding on the grip, and watching a Boxster nearly flip over after going into the dirt.
Too much
Like,
grip.
it was-
Oh, okay. It wasn't too
yeah.
much grip. It
No,
was-
no, like he like slid off and like he got up on two wheels but kept on the ground. It was interesting.
I mean, I'd love to experience that at full chat on the track because, like, I'm told, like, when you get up to it and you actually start turning into the corner, you can't see shit.
Well, that's the thing is like it's almost things where you see it on like Forza and stuff, but you don't really appreciate it till you see it in real life because that's like it's probably
It's
like
5 stories.
Yeah, I'd say it's like a good solid 3 to 5 story drop.
It's
like,
5. I thought it was 6, but I was corrected at the track.
It's 5.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's like that's your average. That's about as tall as your house. I mean, really, it's
It's quite a bit higher than my house.
I mean the drop,
Yeah.
like that drop. I mean,
It's like 55 feet,
from
they say.
roof to ground floor. Like it's
deceivingly a lot.
yeah, it's you're going down for a lot, and you have got 2 off camber, and they're both off camber, aren't they? I think one's off camber, and then the other one is
top
camber.
one isn't. But
Okay.
the second one is. Once
Yeah.
your first initial turn left isn't. Your turn right is.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that's I thought. Yeah, because it's a really questionable turn.
Okay, so I've got this thing up on the screen. This is when I actually saw it coming out of the trailer.
That is
And
fantastic.
my first experience with this car wasn't looking at it. It was the noise coming from the other side of the paddock. It was just like really, really rapid, like machine gun flatulence, just billowing across the paddock. I was like, that's as best I can describe it. Like
Machine gun.
it didn't have like any sort of sustenance or resonance to it. It was just like,
That sounds like it.
but like faster. And there's more photos I have here of it actually parking. And the guy in the driver's seat was like 260, 6'2", like pretty muscly dude. He
And
was
he was, like-
three-pointing this thing into the tent, and it was like both hands on one side of the wheel, just like using his body mass to like thrust the steering wheel.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it must be insane.
How much do you think that thing weighs?
It's got to be at least 4,000 pounds.
It's deceiving because that thing, that roof,
yeah,
is 8'2".
6,000 pounds.
It's huge.
That is a massive
Had
vehicle.
1930 tags on it. It has a real diff, but it still had wood wheels. So like
Yeah.
this thing is perplexing. That's why I took pictures of it. Like I was like,
I'm curious what it is because at first when you said it was a when you showed it to me, I'm like, oh, it must be like maybe like a
well, you
Mercedes.
said there were like 2 makes that had that barrel hood.
yeah,
right?
yeah. So like Mercedes Simplex was one.
I feel like I got to do this in the meantime.
Thanks.
Yeah.
But and come to think of it, it could be an Oldsmobile as well.
I also want to show this thing, which is pre-war.
That's a post-war engine though, bud.
Is it?
Yeah,
Are you 100% sure?
Is that a V8?
It's got Offenhauser heads on it, but
Yeah.
it's a flathead, which started in 32.
Oh, is that a flathead? That
Yeah.
looks way narrow for a flat. Oh, that is a flathead.
Offie flathead. So
Okay.
I'm
Yeah,
guessing
that's
it's been updated a little bit, but I'm guessing
That's cool.
I think this is still pre-war. Maybe it's post-war by a little bit, but I
It's
don't know.
it's like on the cusp. It's
But
still
look
really
where the
cool.
shifter is.
In between your legs.
Yeah, yes. So your manual shifter is right where your gentleman's sausage is. So you keep thwacking it. We're going into third and fourth, or second and fourth.
Well, so you just keep it in fourth.
Actually, no, it's probably a 3-speed. Just going into second. You want to avoid second.
You just want to keep it in first and third.
Yep.
Then.
Yeah. I
That's
think
the way
so.
to do it.
That's the Motorcult advice for this week. Keep it in first and third.
Yeah, same thing with my van, 'cause I grind second and fourth gear is useless.
It sounds like a vintage exotic car. Skip second until it's hot. Like, just skip second all the time. Really.
Exactly.
But yeah, no, it was great. Walking around the paddock there, the few people I did actively reach out and talk to, like there was a guy there with a.
I love that mini Marcos. that's
Oh,
next
I
to it.
should pull up the picture of that. That's such a Jana car. I actually sent that picture directly to Jana.
Yes.
Good.
Where
I
is
think I
it?
told you that Jana had to see it.
Yeah, no, I knew that ahead of time. Like it wasn't. I
Oh,
didn't
it was
know
a
problems with it.
Daihatsu Hijet that was
But
there. That's cool.
I was walking around the paddock near the end of my day, and I saw a guy unloading a Datsun 510, like a pretty
Excellent.
nice one. So I'm like, oh, cool. I'll go take a picture of that thing. They get it unloaded, pushed off the trailer. What's inside on the lower level? An E30 M3 touring car.
Really?
Yeah. So
Oh,
I'm
wow.
stopped dead, and I'm
You
just
also saw the BMW Batmobile as well that you showed me.
there's like 4 or 5 of those there. Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
it
the
is,
car we're
mini,
looking for.
That is a mini Marcos.
Yep. So that's so tiny. That is. I mean, you park that thing next to that pre-war 1930 thing.
Yeah, it's a those cars actually did really well back in the day.
I'm sure they did.
They
That is
were-
a 10-inch wheel. I looked at the Hoosier tire size.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, that's pretty.
It's a
cool.
mini, like it's a fiberglass bodied mini, and it's very quick.
Yeah, no, I'm sure. Like the aero must help a ton on that thing. So and then there's also an older Alfa Romeo. I don't know if it's 4C or AC. I don't think we ever figured that out.
I'm
But
pretty sure it's a 4C.
yeah, I think an 8 would have had more.
8s are massive. Plus the 8s have the exhaust on the outside.
Yeah, so that's probably a 4C and lovely inside and all that, obviously. But
Oh,
Yeah.
look at that Batmobile.
I know there
All right.
again. There were like 5 E9 Batmobiles there. But no, this event, I'm gonna try to go for the whole thing next year. It's gonna cost so much. I mean, it's like $2,500
Oh, yeah.
to go without admission to Pebble Beach
Yeah, it's rough.
for 1 week.
Do you think Pebble Beach is bad? Did you look up trying to get into the Quail?
That's what I meant. Sorry,
No. Pebble Beach is bad. Like Pebble Beach is $300
that's
For
not
per
the
ticket.
base ticket.
That's for the cheap ticket. For the Quail, it's something like I think it's like $700.
Quail VIP with unlimited champagne's $850.
Yeah, well, it's like $700 to get into Quail for like the peasant seats.
Yes, I understand. But did you not hear unlimited champagne?
I'm not. No, you're not done there because there's a peasant class which is $750. That is a lottery that does not guarantee you to get in. You don't get your money back if you don't.
Oh God.
Yeah. Then
there's
there's that
one of
one
the
that you
Batmobiles.
mentioned. Then there is the VIP experience with helicopter escort, where they fly you in a helicopter. It's $4,000.
I'm not spending that.
with unlimited champagne.
I don't have fuck you money.
No, of course not. But who would be there? Like it's gonna
Oh,
be.
there's the touring car, by the way.
That is so cool.
Anthony
It's-
Reid.
It's gonna be like Adam Carolla, and the Sultan of Brunei.
Do you know what I'm actually going to do next year? I'm
What?
going to take 2 separate trips up to Monterey. I'm going to go last weekend and next weekend, and I'm going to skip the middle because that's too expensive.
Yes, that's a good idea.
Or get a job.
No, I have a pretty good job. That's
No,
too
I
much
mean,
money.
I mean, just for that 1 week, like get a job at McDonald's.
I wonder if you could get employed by the people out there running the event.
Ooh, hey,
That might be
hey,
volunteer
worth it.
for it.
Pebble Beach Concourse. We have 3 to 4 willing employees.
We have really misanthropic but autistically accurate JDM and DTM people. So
Yes, that's
hit
it.
us
True.
up.
In French.
Oh yeah, and if you have any mini Marcoses, Jana will
Yes.
So
sit
what?
in them all day.
What I'm excited for next week
Yeah.
is
I'm really excited to hear you guys recap of your time. Too.
it's gonna be really fun. But no, so yeah, Motor Trend and Infinity are doing this like Japanese classics whatever thing.
Yeah.
In front of Concourse across the street, so it can actually get into it. So they just like
Okay.
rent out parking lot across the street. But I looked at the list of cars that are coming in. And it's just like there's a lot of stuff that's happening with Japanese cars in the world right now.
Well,
And I think that these people might have been like the last ones on the list to like get some cars in, because like they're getting some like really random, like super nice versions of random cars. So like, yeah, you have a Toyota 2000 GT that's gonna be there, right? Which is great.
Oh, yeah.
But then you're gonna also have like a Fairlady 1500, which is like the first Nissan Fairlady to
So
actually do
this is
something
like-
with motorsports.
what there was a term for this, like the Les Refusés art show or whatever. It's
Yeah.
like the refused pieces from this
Well,
really prestigious
well,
art show.
I'm not quite done with this
All
because
right, fine,
you
keep
need to
going.
understand this.
Talk
There's
over
gonna
me.
be like
Fine.
there's gonna be a Midnight Purple to R34 there, and then
Is that being brought by our good friend?
Brian.
Brian?
I think so, probably.
good.
I saw it on the list. I'm like, that's probably Brian. But the one that
We're just
kind of
gonna assume
throws
it's
me
Brian.
through a loop is an Infiniti J30.
Wow, I haven't seen one of those since like a junkyard after Cash for Clunkers.
Yeah, I know, right? And so that's like makes me think like, what? How did this end up here?
So this is a show that normally caters to the J30s of the world, but since it's so close, the people that didn't make it into Concours d'Elegance are just registering for this lesser event with their like multi-million.
Well, no,
dollar-
these are people. This is like by invite.
Oh damn! Okay.
So I'm like, how did you end up with a J30? Like, I just did a consider the following on the J30, which I think just because that's for like unloved, kind of cool old Japanese cars on
Yeah.
Japanese nostalgia car. But I'm like,
That's also
I'm
a
sitting
Bill
there,
Nye topic that we all
yeah,
love.
it's true, and that's what it's named after. But
No way.
Yeah, but I was reading. I'm like, what? Like one of these things is not like the other. One of these things is new. It's just ridiculous.
That does seem like a bit of, I mean, all JDM, yeah. Going back on that just a second, the featured mark this year is Datsun, is it not?
I think that might be why the J30 ended up there, because I imagine probably Nissan had all their like
Okay.
super good cars at Rolex, and then they're like, "Oh, what do we,
We
have?
need a- we need a
What's
street
left?
car."
What's left in our thing?" They're like, we got the Janitor's D21, and then we got a J30 that we got left over from new, and we got like a Datsun 1500, and that was owned by like our head of maintenance, like back in the 60s.
The J30 is a
Well,
BG30, right?
yeah.
Yeah. All right.
All right,
yeah,
let's
bring that in.
do the J30. Let's do the. You can leave that Datsun pickup, and yeah, we'll take the Datsun 1500. Like, I don't understand, but I'm
I
excited
hope you
to see
see
it.
2000 GTs, a bunch of them.
Oh, there will be. No, I'm excited to go. You know, in all honesty, I feel like this J30, awkwardly being there, I really want to either be supremely perfect or just 100% normal and like obviously a stand-in for something else.
This is not Matt Farah's million-mile Lexus.
I know this is just
This is.
an Infiniti G30 with 140,000
No,
miles.
I was gonna say like this is Steve Florence's 1.5 million mile J30 or something like
yeah,
that.
exactly.
Like,
so-
cool.
Somebody you've never heard of.
Joe Schmo.
But
Oh,
anyway,
yeah. Oh,
let's
man.
let's kind of keep plugging through because I want to
sure.
talk about another very cool car that Brabus is making. It is a smart car, a smart FourTwo for that matter.
Yeah, well, they've done a bunch of those before, actually. Brabus Smarts have been around since the smart car came to the USA, probably before even.
But they've not made the 125 horsepower version. That's
That's
a
true.
lot of power.
The
for
stock
that car.
one's like 60 something.
something like that, and I think
The
even
turbo ones were like 90 before, so
yeah,
this is
that's
pretty.
like 125.
I'm gonna pull this up here real quick.
This
Wow.
is also the lightest car in America, and it's rear wheel drive.
Yep, and are they offering the manual on this one? I assume so.
I don't know because I know all the ones that we've had previously in America are automatic only.
No, but we can. Well, they're automated manual only
Yeah.
previously, but you can get a manual in the current gen
Yes.
here.
really, okay. So yeah, then
I've not
probably.
driven one, but I've seen it in Florida.
Seen to
Then yeah, you might be able to. I think that'd be hilarious.
0 to 60 time is only 9.2 seconds now.
Yeah, and
Electronically limited top speed to 109.
I feel like there's a way to turn off that electronic limiter.
I feel like there's a way to do that on my electric Fiat too, but I haven't found it.
But yeah, that's actually a pretty cool smart.
Well, this one's a paddle shift. That's
Well,
not
whatever.
good.
But I mean, still, 125 horsepower and a smart.
Oh,
I'm
it's
happy
got like the
with.
triple exhaust, like a 458.
Or a F40.
Yeah, that's true. The F40's got a much smaller center one though. This is much more equal, like a 458.
I'm just happy this exists.
I kind of am too. I mean, I really like tiny cars, and like that thing with that kind of power is. I mean,
I like tiny cars and I like stupid cars, and that's everything that I love. It's a tiny, stupid car with a lot of power.
yeah, It must not be that light because those power figures really aren't that great. Or it's the automated manual.
I think
killing.
it's the transmission probably killing it because, I mean, they only weigh like 2,000 pounds.
Really?
Yeah, they weigh less than. They're the only car that's lighter than a Mirage. That's why the Mirage doesn't get lightest car in America because of the Smart FourTwo.
Interesting. Oh my God, it's $46,000. No, that's gonna be a pass actually.
You know what? If I had fuck you money, if I had money to go to the Quail, I would buy that.
Take your Brabus Smart for two
Yeah,
to the Quail.
sure. Why not?
All
I don't know.
right.
I just have it. I don't know what I'd do with it, but I'd have it. Because the thing is, once I'm saying $4,000 to take a helicopter to the Quail, I probably have enough money to just drop
Could you
on
spend
this.
$8,000 to get your car helicopter lifted to the Quail?
Yeah, I'm sure they will. Because I mean, when the Sultan of
They
Brunei,
have to cater to Dubai people.
like, yeah,
and
you're
they
dealing
helicopter
with
for
like this.
Ubers.
You're dealing with the Sultan of Brunei, and, like the Saudi royal family, and like, stuff like that, and like Kim Jong Un, and just like ridiculous people.
How does Kim Jong Un fit into this?
I don't know. I imagine he's probably got a fantastic car collection. That's like a
He probably
prerequisite
has
for
Are
a
they
being a
lot of
all
dictator.
fuck you money.
All King Sang 88s?
King
No.
Sang 88s.
But they're probably like
I know
North
he's got the
Korean
toilet
knockouts.
car.
That is true. He does have a toilet car, yeah.
Yep.
But no, I think that I would be shocked if Kim Jong Un did not have a great car collection because every dictator historically has had a great car collection.
Okay.
And he did go to college in America. So he has had exposure to American car culture. So it makes you believe that Kim Jong Un probably just wastes lousy amounts of money on really cool cars. Or they've got no money and he has like a car collection like yours, which
Ouch.
is like a
Well, I
good
mean,
car
you're
collection.
You're not wrong.
It's a good car collection, but I mean, like, if you're a dictator, you know,
Yeah, you probably should have a better garage. than me.
like you've
like
got to,
some guy from Minnesota.
yeah, like you're some guy and you gotta get a great car collection. But like, if you're a dictator and you're like,
I do not have a toilet car for the record. I would love one.
yeah. See, that's the thing.
Just get followed around by a
You're not-
Mercedes S-Class with a toilet in it.
Things like this make me wonder if he has a good car collection. Because once you have a toilet in your car, you have to have like at least an F40. Like that comes before
Or a
toilet car.
King Sang F48.
An F40, like based off like
This one's 8 better. It's based on a Fiero. They
Yeah,
bought it off Craigslist in San Bernardino.
I was not saying like a Pontiac Fiero. It just like kind of looks like an F40. But
Oh man,
yeah,
driving into Monterey, I drove through San Jose at 1 a.m.
Yeah.
And I was like, at one point in time, I drove between two buildings flanking the highway. The one on the right said AMD, and the one on the left said Intel. I'm like, ooh, tension.
it's so funny.
And then I drove through Hollister. I'm like, oh god.
I went to. It's been like about 5-6 years since I've been to California last. So I want to see how like Silicon Valley's
This part
grown.
of California.
But yeah, this part of California. I
It's
should
pretty
say.
significant.
But like when I first went there, back like 2005 or so, 2006, San Jose was an armpit. Like that's the sort of place you locked your doors when you drove through it. And now you're like you drive through it and you're like, wow, this is nice. And like now you're driving through it, it's like, wow, it's like Hong Kong.
Yeah, I mean, Santa Clara is definitely nicer because it's probably closer to the action. But yeah, San Jose is pretty good now.
Yeah, that's kind of thing. It's been getting much better.
I drove by the San Jose International Airport from SFO.
Oh yeah.
It was still worth it. I mean, it was so much cheaper to fly into
Oh,
SFO
yeah.
for nonstop. I could go to San Jose pretty cheaply with a layover, but my ears would just kill me.
I don't have that problem.
Yeah, well, lucky you.
Yeah,
I just
that's
have
true.
too much
On my way
anxiety.
there was a police escorted group of 27 people.
Oh, police as
Police escorted whole time.
Oh,
Police saw to it that they all got on at the same time.
oh.
There were cops in SFO when they got there, making sure they all got off. They all got to baggage claim together.
Oh, they
And
might
then they all left.
be being deported or something.
They're all from North Dakota, and they're all really loud Jesus-y people.
Oh.
Ugh.
I cannot figure out why.
White supremacists?
Yeah, Corey told
Maybe.
me that they were singing on the plane.
Oh yeah, I have a video clip of this, but they were singing some really terrible cliche song.
This little light of mine, maybe.
Probably.
I'm sorry, if somebody's singing on the plane while I'm on, I'm
Oh, did
tell
I
them to
mention
fuck
that
right
they were
off.
the 3 rows behind me and none of them slept at 1 a.m?
Oh no.
Okay, because yeah, that was the case also.
I don't understand how you're so calm about this.
Also,
Did you tell them to fuck off?
my rental car reservation was messed up, and I got 300 miles instead of the 450 I paid for. So I cut like my entire San Francisco exploration chunk out.
What?
The hotel, which had complimentary on-site parking, which is why I booked there, charged me $33, which I was adamantly telling them they may not do to my credit card when they're trying to get me to sign out in the morning. What else?
You had a horrible trip.
Oh, yeah, I should have had Corey on today. Like, I told him, like, every time any one of these things is happening, he's like,
Yeah.
how is this possible?
I got a lot of the memes he sent you to calm me down.
I think you're a lot calmer than I am.
Yeah, probably.
Because people, like, if I'm on an airplane, anybody's singing.
You
at
know,
any
I
point,
got
it can be
there-
1 o'clock in the afternoon. You're sitting on an airplane. You're
I
getting
will
yelled
tell
at.
you, if Laguna Seca wasn't perfect and it was $5, I would have been livid about that trip.
Yeah,
But it was
I bet.
perfect and it was $5. I mean, the downtown show was really great too. But
That's good.
I had to kill so much time because it started at like 5:30 in the evening and I had to leave at 6:30. And
Well,
anyway,
next year, go for the actual car week.
there's no way I would miss the part of the event that I went to. So
Really?
I have to go.
So
for,
that's
Dude.
now like a thing you have to go
I
to.
have to. That
Okay.
is a must because I mean everything you're gonna see, not necessarily the concourse cars. So I wish there probably is an event like that for the people that show up just to show the concourse cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's called Carmel. It's Carmel or Concourse on the Ave.
Okay, so that too then. Those two things I think would be the musts because you want to catch those people coming into town and unloading. I don't really
Yes.
care about the main events that much.
Yeah,
Like,
well,
it'd be cool to see it.
Concourse on the Ave is like once all the Concourse cars have showed up.
Yeah.
They just line Carmel Drive, the main
Yeah.
street through Carmel, California.
Yes, those are
with
that's
cars.
what you'd want to
yeah.
do. Yep.
And you can like walk
What
right
day of
up
the
to
week is
them.
that?
I think it's Friday.
Oh fuck yeah!
Yeah.
Yeah, I
gonna-
think it's a Friday thing.
Seriously, it might honestly be cost effective to fly to California twice.
Really?
In
Wow.
1 week just
Oh
to
yeah,
do
then
those
to
two
stay.
events.
I know it's gonna cost us $1,500 for a hotel room for 4 nights.
Yeah, I
It-
mean,
it
my
is-
hotel was like, it was should have been 189, but it ended up being like 220 something.
I was talking to my editor. He's like staying in Salinas, and I'm like, dude, it's an hour away, and it's an armpit. He goes, I might get stabbed, but if I don't get stabbed, I'll be able to.
I'll call
record
this a
with you."
win. Yeah. Anyway, yeah.
Well, hey, let's
we'll talk way more about that next week.
let's talk about other cool European hatchbacks.
Yes.
Or I guess not really that cool, but kind of cool. Did you want to talk about this, or do you want me to?
no, you do these guys.
Okay. So Volkswagen added 40 new colors to the Golf R.
Wow, up from like the one they offered before,
Yeah, I think
which
they
was
had like
black.
3. They had like black, silver, and like navy blue.
They had the
I think
Nazi
you're right, actually.
flag. That
That was it.
your choice.
Yeah, you could have.
Also, one more thing, Monterey, before we go on this, how you call the Beetle the Nazi road oiler?
Yeah.
My new best friend with that DTM car or whatever,
Yeah.
he calls all the air-cooled Porsche 911 race cars
Nazi road
German
oilers.
track oilers. I'm just like, I get it.
Yeah, it's just they always leak everywhere.
It's just anyway. I thought that was fun.
fantastic.
The guy is so good. He was great.
So yeah, no, Volkswagen added 40 new colors to the Golf R because
Yes.
people were, I guess, were complaining
About having the choice of 3.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
Well,
The Third Reich, you know.
I wrote a more in-depth post on the Motorcult blog about this. It'll be once you guys are listening to this, so probably should be live. If not, it'll be live.
If not, hit refresh until you DDoS it and then try again.
yeah, it'll probably be. If it's not live when you see us, it'll be live Monday morning. But no, it's. I think it's actually a really good thing because for the longest time, it used to be. You would have cool colors for like every car. Like in the 90s, you can get a GMC Sonoma pickup in pink, and you can get a purple Ford Escort. Like they don't have to be special cars to have cool colors.
Are you talking the splash colors?
Yeah, like well, no, not just that, just like cool
Splash
colors.
Rangers?
Can you put
'Cause
that
those are
away?
disgusting.
I'm trying to talk here.
But there's cute.
I don't care. Anyway, so no, like back in the 90s, like you could get like cool colors on cars.
Tahitian
And
green
then
pearl.
yeah, exactly. But in the 2000s, that all went away, and like all your Electron blue pearls and Tahitian green pearls and like Ginster yellows became desert sand mica and pistachio metallic.
Well, I mean, the same thing with BMW in the 90s. They had like Daytona violet.
Like,
and,
they
a
had cool
Storal
colors, yeah.
blue and,
So I think it's cool that this is coming back.
Fern green.
If you want to like go through there, I'm not sure you put this Bugatti DiVo thing in the middle. But, if you look,
That's in the middle?
yeah, if you look below that and you click on the media.vw link I got
Oh,
there.
sorry. I didn't even see your link.
Yeah, that's fine. It
Let
will
me
show you
fix this
all
real quick.
of the really cool colors.
Look at that.
And what's the premium?
It's a $2,500 premium.
$2,500 on a car that base?
Was
price?
38, but I mean still.
So they charge you that much extra for that color.
Yeah.
Do you realize BMW will paint your car any color you want for
Did-
$1,700, and it's called BMW Individual?
Well, that's because BMW is better than Volkswagen.
That is true,
We
yeah.
already knew that, but Mercedes charges like $6,500 for this same thing. So, I mean, you can still do it. But no, if you scroll down, you look at the other colors that are available. I mean, you can see there's some really cool colors. My favorite one's Caribbean green.
I'm gonna open that up actually.
Yeah, because
I like traffic purple, but it's not purple. It's
Traffic
pink.
purple.
traffic purple. It's like in your face pink. But no, the Caribbean green is probably one of the best teal colors I've ever seen.
Okay, I'm gonna step on a soapbox for a second.
Okay.
Why don't they just say pink? Like Ruby Stone Red, not a red.
Pinkington pink.
No, Ruby
Like
Stone Red is pink, and then
Plasma purple. No,
pink.
that's pink.
yep, and then
Just say pink, car manufacturers. That's what I want.
Yeah, just like.
well, no, then they'll charge you extra $500 because pink tax.
I just want to be Barbie.
I think the pink tax is something unrelated to cars.
Yeah,
It would still happen. It just goes for things marketed to women.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I mean you're not wrong. It's an interesting way of looking at it, I guess.
Is that just not even loading a little bit?
Oh!
Up there it goes.
All right, now let me switch over the capture card. All right,
All right,
good.
now if you scroll down, it'll go through every color with its name.
Okay.
It is fantastic.
Viper green, Ginster yellow, deep blue pearl, moss green, star blue,
I think
oxide red,
Jazz blue pearl.
anthracite metallic.
are we gonna really name every single one of these 40s?
Fuck no, I'm already bored. Caribbean
See,
green's pretty
yeah,
cool.
that's a pretty skookum color. And look at traffic purple. Did you see it?
Oh wow.
Yeah,
It is like in your face.
it's
Yeah.
Barbie pink.
I like that they have like oranges and stuff. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
that
no,
reminds me of the Golf Fahrenheit, the Mark V.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think they actually have the color
Oh,
from
they
that.
have taco night. It's
Oh, is that-
curry yellow.
Curry yellow. Fucking taco. night.
My favorite thing I've read though was when Top Gear went through the colors. They mentioned curry yellow, and they're like, "We've never seen curry that's this color, but we have seen something the next morning that was this color."
Yep. I'm kind of right there with them. I don't think curries are actually that color typically.
No,
No.
they're not. And then
Yeah,
there's
maybe
also
hummus vomit.
there's also one
diarrhea.
called Cliff Green. I'm not sure what cliff this is in, but maybe it's in like Chernobyl or like Fukushima. But that's not the color grass is. I do think Reseda Green
That's
looks
like
kind of
when
good.
your
Probably
RBG
Fukushima.
is like way too high on your playing video
Now,
games.
if
Is that named after Victory in Reseda?
Reseda probably the street, yes.
Oh,
I
I was trying to plug Randy randomly.
yes, it is Randy. Well, Randy named after the intersection he grew up on.
Yeah,
so.
great. Okay, that makes sense.
But anyway, I think Volkswagen should take this and just expand it to all of their vehicles.
okay.
Like
I mean, why not? I mean, just pull a page out of BMW and just charge them extra.
exactly. Like you're not going to lose money, and it's like, so what? Somebody gets a Sorrento's turquoise Touareg. Like that actually sounds
I want
fantastic.
a traffic purple Tiguan because I
The
hate
tr-
myself.
I
'Cause I
no,
hate
the
'em.
Tiguan, the big one. No, it's not good. You
no,
don't
no,
want
you
that.
get traffic purple in the up.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I want the up.
Yeah, well,
And traffic
it's
purple.
up exclamation point. But
I
if-
understand
yeah,
the Ebonics
it's-
calculation.
It's not really a Bonix. I think it's Zulu that uses that. I really should
I
probably look
want
that
an
up.
up themed up.
An up with a bunch of balloons on top of it.
Yes.
That'd be fantastic.
And a talking dog in the passenger seat.
Anyway, Burger,
Yep.
tell me about this Bugatti.
Okay, so the main reason I picked this story here is because it's called the DiVo, and
We are Devo.
rip
Rip in
rip
peace.
DiVo. But
Yeah,
anyway,
for some of you that don't know us, we had a mutual friend named Devo who passed away not long before we started, and he was nicknamed Devo by me when I first met him because I'm really bad with names. I give everybody a nickname beforehand. Before I actually remember their name. This one was really good and it just kind of stuck. And the reason I called him Devo is he had his hair like in this weird like kind of fade thing, but it's like kind of curly at the top.
okay.
So he kind of looked like Rowan Orzabad from Tears for Fears, and he didn't know anything about like new wave music. So every time I'd see him, I'd give him a name of a different new wave band. I'd call him. So I'm like, "Hey, Tears for Fears, how's it going? Hey, New Order. Hey, Kanjo a Go-Go. And then eventually I said DiVo, and then everybody's like, I like that name. It's actually kind of a good one. And so that's how it stuck.
Well, it definitely stuck. I knew him as DiVo for like 3 or 4 years before I figured out his name was Eric.
Yeah.
There's too many Erics.
Whoa, this looks
There
cool.
are too many.
But I do have
What
to
looks
say, when
cool?
I was reading it in the notes, my dyslexic self thought it was an article on Danny DeVito. Oh,
Yeah, I mean, it is DIVO, not DEVO. And honestly, I'm trying to pull up the thing on it, but it's not loading. So
It's loaded on my screen, and that car looks fucking phenomenal.
really-
Tell me
it's a
about it.
Chiron with a bunch of like 80s, like just like picture the XR4 Ti spoiler, the one that like
The
comes
wheels
out of the
are so
top
cool.
of the back of the window, and it's got like a single strut in the back.
Oh, it's so cool.
It's like that on a Bugatti.
it looks like it
love
could
it.
be a transformer.
I didn't even look how many horsepower it has. Probably like 1 million. It's probably
Something like that. I mean,
Probably
Bugattis-
does like a
gonna
tr-
die in this
1,000
car.
miles an hour. Yeah, of course,
Of course
they
they
will.
are. People die in Bugattis every day.
Rip. That's fitting. That was dope.
God, it doesn't say how much horsepower it has.
Well, let's just say it's got like 1,600
Enough.
horsepower.
How much-
Sufficient.
How much does the normal Chiron have?
Chiron is 1,300, I think.
I'm gonna say 1,600 too.
1,600. I think is pretty safe.
Yeah, actually, I'm a Price is Right and say 1,599. Just
I'm
in
gonna say
case it's below.
1,601 then. Fuck it.
Then watch it be 1,600 on the nuts. We're both gonna be right.
I win.
And Jana
Whatever.
wins. Jana will win with
Fine.
1,600.
Jana
on the
can win
dot.
that. I'm okay with that.
Okay. So anyway, that's a very cool car. What are they using it for?
I don't know. I just picked it because it had a cool name.
Just for funsies.
I didn't read it.
So do you
Who do you
know?
think I am?
Do you know where they got the name from though?
No.
I think it was
Enlighten us, Ryan.
Robert or Alfred O'Meal, Albert DiVo was was one of the Bugatti factory drivers in the 1920s.
Oh, okay.
Along with the Veyron was actually named after. I think they're all named after.
I guess that would make sense.
That'd be really cool if they did
What man was the EB110 named after?
that.
EB 110.
Emerson EB 110.
Or like a Tory
His name was
Bugatti
EB.
110?
And he went 110 miles an hour.
Well, I mean, his name was a Tory Bugatti.
Wait a minute. What year did the EB 110 come out?
1991. We
I
talked about
think
this.
a Tory Bugatti was actually born in like 1881 or something.
Oh, so it's 110,
So 110
anniversaries.
years of.
Oh, Bugatti, you
We
rascal.
figured you out.
Ah, you rascal.
But this is very cool. I'm very happy that they're naming their cars. Are they gonna start naming them after like other like famous?
I
Bugattis?
think what
Like,
they're going to do is they're going to open it up to the internet like Mountain Dew and the U.S. Coast Guard did.
Bodie McBoatface.
yeah, exactly.
And Hitler did nothing wrong. I
Yeah.
think those were the two winners.
No, I see more like, are they gonna name one like Bugatti, the Bugatti Lake Geneva, about the Bugatti got thrown into the Lake Geneva?
They should call it the Bugatto. The
The
Bugatti,
Bugatti
Bugatto.
Bugatto. That'd be like the Alpha Sud, like the really shitty Alfa Romeo.
They definitely need Bugatti DeVito.
Uh-huh.
That'd be
Oh,
fantastic.
yeah.
And then we can put Modi DeVito in the Bugatti DeVito.
Cody's so thick.
But anyway, so this
Yeah.
is a really cool car. I really hope that they're actually using it for things other than just looking fancy.
I love how the headline on the thing I first saw was like, the Bugatti DiVo is here, and it looks ... nothing like a Chiron. Like, yeah, it just looks like a Chiron they put an XR4 Ti spoiler on too, and just called it a day.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, they did, and it works.
You're welcome, audio-only listeners.
I would recommend looking it up. It's a very cool looking car. So,
DIVO.
do you want to do interesting engineering before
Yes,
we get into World Cup of Cars?
Well, should we do it before or after?
I think we should. Let's do it after. I want people to get
Yeah, I
I to
think
work being all hyped up
let's
on World
do-
Cup of Cars.
Let's do World Cup of Cars because
All right, because it's the semifinals. This one segment will dictate who goes to the finals and who will be the best
Now,
car manufacturing country
I'm really
in
glad.
the world.
God damn it! I'm really glad there isn't like a what do you call that thing? The piece of paper you do to actually like generate all
bracket?
Yeah, the bracket, whatever that thing. I'm glad you don't have one of those here, because I would get so depressed right now. Because like I like sort of remember when things happen, like ooh that's gonna be impossible to beat, and like I know that one of these I like both of these things a lot.
Yeah, every one of these
One of
cars
these-
are great.
Ugh.
I know.
Anyway,
I think when we get to Sweden, we'll debate what should represent Sweden, because what I want to do, I want to do the most iconic car from each of these countries. and that's why I'm going with all these. So for the semifinals, Iran has made it like
Further than we ever thought.
I never thought that they would do this. I'm shook that they've made it this far.
Are you shook AF, fam?
Yes.
I think it's mainly because the Zamyad picture we found is like the cutest like green mini truck
Yes.
in mint
Well,
condition.
I think that the appeal of the Zamyad Z24 is the fact that represents everything that a pickup truck should be, and it's just like it's a no frills workhorse. It gets everything done, and it is just so modular. You can turn to anything. It can be a dump truck. It can be a garbage truck. It can be a fire truck. It can
Is
be
it
anything
a
you
big
want.
fuck you to all the lifted truck bros that are like, I need this for my farm?
I think so because that's got a ridiculous like towing capacity or payload rather, and it's a design that's been proven. I mean, that was a Japanese design that came out like 45 years ago and it's still being made new today in Iran, and they're doing perfectly fine with it. I mean, say what you will about the Iranian
It still
economy,
has
like it's
four
it's
wheels and
working.
tires.
It's working really well
Still
for
has
them.
4 cylinders.
Yeah, like if you listen to like truck ads today for like
please
Dodge
don't.
Ram 1500s, like
Buy
you're
this truck.
well, no, you're gonna
can
think
make friends with God with
You
how
can
high
tow
up you
this
sit.
little amount. The
No,
same
you're
Fiat
just-
can tow.
no. The thing is that
Pretty
like
much.
yeah, it's that it's if you don't have this ginormous truck, you can't get anything accomplished. Well, this truck is the backbone of the Iranian economy,
Yeah.
and from those ads, you would think Iran has the same infrastructure as rural Siberia, and it is it's much better. I'm sure.
And
but
like, not even with like, Berger shows that he can tow
Everything.
cars with the Fiat and like.
I'm
tows
still
with
known
his cars.
as the guy who scrapped a Fiat with a Fiat at the scrapyard.
yes,
That's awesome. And like, so you don't really need these big trucks. And my dad uses a Honda Ridgeline. Bye, Scott.
Anyway, so Scott left.
I'm glad I turned up that microphone.
Yeah, it
just in time.
sounded fun.
But yeah, like my dad he uses his truck for work, just like all these people. Like my best
he's got a
friend.
Ridgeline, yeah.
My best friend growing up in high school, our dads did basically the same thing. Her dad had a dually. My dad had a Honda Ridgeline.
Not just a dually. He had a Dodge Ram 3500 dually.
Yeah, like and it
Mega
was-
cab.
Yeah, and my dad was able to do the same exact stuff as you would with a dually.
And I think that's the appeal of the Z24,
Yeah,
and
so you can
that's why I find myself weirdly rooting for this car. Like
Me too,
Yeah.
but like we haven't been into what it's against yet.
yes, and I think we should talk about what it's against
Oh, I'm
because
not-
as much
Maybe
as
we should have Jana talk about
as much
Okay.
as well, one second is let me lead it in. As much as we love the Z24
Yeah.
for like what it stands for,
Zamyad
it's
Z24,
it-
not the
it's- yeah,
Cavalier Z24.
no. It is underdog, and it's a really cool car. But when this car came out, this too was the underdog, and to date has been the underdog. And this car has gone on to do anything and everything that you've thrown at it, and that makes it the perfect car. Jana, what car is this?
It's a Citroën de Chevaux.
Yes, this
Did I say it right?
Citroën
French.
2CV, if you're American.
Yes. But
Yeah, I mean, this car, Jana, this car's done just about everything.
it was able to haul 4 humans up a large hill in St. Paul,
Yeah.
and 3 of them were men of average build.
You looked so disgraced when you looked up at me. You're like,
Well,
3 of them were.
I think the other thing
Men.
is, well, let's just talk
What
about
about the original challenge?
yeah,
though?
the original
Yeah,
challenge where it was designed to have 4 farmers.
That's like
And
honestly
two farmers, cattle,
Yeah.
and a basket of eggs.
That's
Yeah.
honestly like one of my favorite things about Citroën is they weren't like, oh, we want a car that does car things. They're like, we want a car that does the same thing as a horse and buggy.
We want a road tractor
yeah,
with a roof on it.
yeah,
exactly. And like to me, that's so special for a car manufacturer to think of its demographic like that. Like I don't think you saw Volkswagen doing that, and they were supposed to be the people's car, and
I
the
think
French were
I
like,
think
hey,
Volkswagen.
let's do it.
I
but
think
better.
Volkswagen did, because they basically said like Ford made the Model T,
Yeah.
Volkswagen made the Beetle, and the Beetle is a departure from the Model T because the Beetle was better than the Model T. But I think the 2CV did what the Beetle did while being better than a Model T, but at a cheaper cost and at a more reliable cost. Because the 2CV was designed to just go through anything, whereas the Beetle was designed to be replaceable.
Right.
And I think that's the thing, is that the
And
2CV
to
will go through
equalize the proletariat.
Yeah, and whereas the 2CV is designed to just get anything done forever, and you'll never have to get rid of it. And that's kind of the thing. And it's like that car, it's a simple little car. It was originally, a road tractor.
Do you remember that design experiment in the 1970s where Porsche engineered a car that would never need anything replaced on it except for oil?
No.
That's awesome.
Oh, we should actually. I shouldn't talk about it then. That's really interesting. But
Let's
anyway.
make that interesting engineering for.
Well, I don't
when
know
we
if it's
get
interesting
back
engineering,
together.
but we should definitely talk about it. But anyway, I feel like that's unintentionally kind of what this 2CV was.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, it
Like,
was.
Porsche did it to the extent like you could drive it through like road salt for its entire life, and it would never need anything replaced.
That's so
Yeah.
cool.
It just showed that like with enough engineering dollars and like cost in the actual parts, anything could last forever.
Yeah, and like they still made it affordable, which nowadays,
Right.
if you want that ingenuity, you have to pay top dollar.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty much, yeah.
And like I could totally drive a DiVo as a daily driver now.
Oh, me too. That thing would be so rad.
Yeah, it'd be a
friggin'
great car.
Michael does that shit
Well,
all the time.
The
Yeah.
thing is, they made the 2CV until 1990, and the reason they got rid of it was not because the car wasn't selling.
They made it longer than that, didn't they?
No, they got rid of it in 1990, and it wasn't because the car wasn't selling. They got rid of it in 1990 because they needed to tear down the factory because the neighborhood was blighted with crime and corruption, and that factory was just creating an eyesore that would keep all the high dollar rent out. The car was killed by gentrification only.
Damn it.
Boo.
We want the 2CV. Bring it back.
But anyway, no, I think what we need to touch on is this car, it was a road tractor, but it got everything done. I mean, it had a racing pedigree. It had a four-wheel drive version where they just stuck another engine into it.
Comfortable.
It's endlessly comfortable. It is unbelievably reliable. And then, like I said, again, it had a racing pedigree. Like, actually, like, people would take these and modify them extensively for racing.
It was hidden from Nazis.
Yeah, it was hidden from Nazis.
Yeah,
And
thank God, too. They had that awesome
Oh my
technology.
God.
And
Yeah.
they actually, to date, even near almost 30 years after the car's been discontinued, they still have a one-make race that's extremely popular in Europe for the 2CV. And it's not like sustaining size, it's growing. Like, that's
Yeah.
really, really cool.
I remember we watched that YouTube clip on that
Yeah.
Spec 2CV race. And
Yeah,
it
and
was
that's
pretty
like that's
rad.
actually really cool. Spec 2CV racing.
I would still love a 2CV.
So
yeah, I think everyone should ride in one once because everybody looks at it and they're like, "Ooh."
Where's the rest of it?
Yeah.
but no, when you actually get into it, like, yeah, no, that's
That
a
has
car.
Wow,
so
this
much
thing's
room.
very capacious, and it's the most comfortable seat I've ever sat in my entire
Exactly,
life.
and you can fit a goat in a couple of chickens. On
A
top.
couple of goats.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, livestock.
I think. Well, I think, yeah, no, you're right. And I think another cool thing about the 2CV is even with its design being questionable to some
Yeah.
people, those are just people that are not like into Bauhaus design. But if you are the sort of person that appreciates Bauhaus interior design,
Yeah.
the 2CV is a perfect car for you. The 2CV to Bauhaus interior design is like a Chrysler Airflow to Art Deco. Like, it is
Yeah.
the ultimate Bauhaus car.
Oh yeah.
And
It
that
looks like a little camper almost.
yeah, it does,
you know.
and that's kind of what Bauhaus was. Is it's simplicity, and it is it's industrial cues where it's function over form.
Yeah.
It's supposed to look like that when it's really form over function, but
Yes.
the 2CV does that while still being function
Yeah,
over form.
and like
I think it's actually a beautiful car in of itself.
it is beautiful, but they didn't build it to be beautiful. They
No, it's
That's
it's
a good point.
kind of
Right.
accidental artwork. Yeah.
I think that's a good one. Yeah, I mean Bauhaus is like not accidentally beautiful, but like
It-
very deliberately
Yes.
beautiful.
Yeah, and that's exactly what the 2CV is I think they could have gone with any design. They could have gone with like a really cheap looking Art Nouveau car or a
Yeah.
really cheap looking Art Deco car. But instead the person that was designing goes, "Wow, look at this art style that's very popular right now. It's perfect for a car like this."
Yeah.
And that's how they went into the design of that. I think that car honestly will stand the time as being
Especially
one of
the original with that grill.
Oh,
yeah,
Oh.
with the grill
And the
and
hood.
Yeah, the
Man, that thing looks like just
the corrugated hood is so
It-
cool.
The look is so timeless. You know?
It's pretty
No,
period.
it's
but
very
it's
period.
really cool.
No, but it's one of those things.
Okay.
It's timelessly cool.
Yes.
That's what it is. It is, you can make a new.
I still stand by the fact it's very dated. But
No,
I
it is.
love
It is, but it's timelessly cool.
It's
dated,
isn't the
but
right
cool.
word to put in that sentence. Still, though,
It's always been cool and always will be
its
cool.
design transcends time.
Yes,
Yes.
that's a
There
good
you
way.
go.
That's what
That's
Jana's
right.
trying to say. Yeah,
All right.
but I think
I'm bad at English.
it's all right.
That's fine.
So don't worry
Me,
about
no
it.
English. No English. Good.
So yeah, let's do that. Let's do this competition, and then we'll move on to the second one.
Okay.
Or do you want me to go over the?
No,
cars?
Say-
2CV wins, so we
Yeah.
can go on to the next one.
We're
We
go-
just wanted to talk more about the DiVo.
All right, it says 2CV wins, just hands down.
Yeah, sorry,
against
Zamyad,
this.
we love you, but
The Zamyad, that's a good car.
You
but
have a special place in our heart,
I know they made many fire trucks out of you, Zamyad, but they also made 2CV fire trucks. So
yes.
which are like snail fire trucks.
I know.
Oh, they look like turbos.
There's a small part of me that was really hoping for the Zamyad versus Japan for the final.
Oh,
Because
like
that
the
would be-
2000 GT versus the Zamyad.
No, I would totally put a Mazda Porter up against the Zamyad. It'd be old Japan versus new Japan. But anyway,
That would be tough.
yeah, no, it'd be tough. It'd be
I
like
couldn't choose, man.
it'd be like when France had to go up against Argentina. I had to
Oh.
think about what car I wanted
That's
to
like
represent
picking
France.
a kitten over a fat existing cat. I
Yeah.
just don't know if I could do it. They're so
Yeah.
cute.
You
I
gotta
want
roll
both
the
of 'em.
dice.
That was a really rough decision we had to make.
I was told last night by many people at Ryan and Haley Rask's wedding reception that I need a second cat.
I think you do.
But like, if I was gonna get a second cat, it would have to be a Scottish Fold kitten.
Oh,
That'd
And
be worth it.
There's a breeder, but it's in middle of North Dakota. I'm like, I'm not going there. And Corey's like, I'd go.
Have Corey go on his own.
So maybe I might get on a list someday
Excellent.
for that.
Anyway, so for our second trial in the World Cup of Cars semifinals,
Yes.
we're going to have Sweden versus Japan. Now, Sweden, I chose the Volvo ES 1800, which
Yep.
was their shooting brake. That was,
I saw one of those on the road last week here.
yeah, my Uncle Ralph has one. I want that car quite badly. But that's a really good car. It's basically a perfect car for every petrol head.
It's so pretty. Imagine having one of those fucking things in the 60s.
Oh yeah, it is a front engine rear wheel drive manual shooting brake that's aimed at enthusiasts and it's endlessly reliable.
And very practical.
Actually, currently the highest miles ever put on a car is in an ES 1800.
Suck it, million mile
That guy,
Lexus.
yeah, that guy that beat beat Mercedes. He did that not long after we graduated from high school, and he still has the car and he's still putting miles on it. Like he's still winning. Like every year he wins more. So I don't think the ES 1800 has a racing pedigree though, does it?
It probably does.
no!
No, stop yelling, Jesus.
Scott just sent me a link.
I don't care.
Audi waves goodbye to manual transmissions. That's.
I don't care. It's
Ah.
Audi.
I know, but
They suck.
I know they do, but they still offered them, and now they don't.
Well, that's fine because that just means I'm gonna get more money every day.
And that just means that I can pay even less attention to that stupid manufacturer.
It's a terrible brand.
Anyway, no, I think the 1800 ES had like time trial success, but I don't think it did anything other than like rallies.
Yeah, I think it did your occasional rally, but I think the Amazon at that era was doing most everything.
Oh, you're not talking about Amazon.com. You're talking
No,
about
the Volvo Amazon
You're
was
right.
actually doing most
Right.
of the racing then.
Probably true.
And then that will be going up against Japan. Japan.
Which vehicle from Japan? Because I remember what it won with last time, and if it's against that, Japan wins.
So obviously you're thinking that or a C10 Skyline GTR. Both
Oh.
of those are equally as gorgeous.
Yeah, I mean, either way, I think it wins over the 1800 ES.
So-
yeah, bye, Sweden.
I think
I
that
love the 1800, but it doesn't win
No.
over those.
yeah, I think the 2000 GT is going to be
Even the
going up
Skyline.
against France to have probably the hardest debate we're ever going to have, and that's how we're going to do that after Concours. And
Now, when
After
you
we
say
see
hard debate,
Both.
yeah, I think dude, I don't know if we told them on the podcast or not, or maybe I just posted about it, but so this coming week, we're not doing a Wednesday episode. You guys are taking the iPad and the portable microphone out to California to do
Yes.
episodes, and I am also doing episodes here. So what
Yes.
we're going to do is we're just going to stagger release them once you guys get back. So
we're doing a normal thing.
yeah, we're doing a normal thing. It's just going to be a little different format, but it'll be great. So don't
Yeah,
worry about it.
and we will not have something on Wednesday.
Right.
I'll put something up on the Motorcult blog so you don't get bored, so you can at least poop
But
and
I'll
have
put
fun.
I'll put some cats up or something.
Yeah, here we go. We'll find some sort of media to give you guys. So, it looks like for our World Cup of Cars finals, it's gonna be France versus Japan, which is it's gonna be tough.
If it's those vehicles. Anyway, let's not talk about that until it happens.
Yeah.
I don't want to think about it. It's like choosing between
What children
I know.
are gonna live?
Which of your two extremely productive, beautiful children with no debilitating issues do
I
you
also-
choose to live?
I think we should also, since we have some time, actually put some effort into doing research as to why we choose these cars, because these
I
are
think that's fair.
because these cars
Free
actually
page
Can we? Okay,
dissertation
let's just
papers.
assume we're doing 2CV versus 2000 GT then.
that's gonna be very tough.
Oh, man.
man.
But I mean, still for the sake of researching.
Venn diagrams.
We'll do that. We'll do that.
No, because if we do a Venn diagram, we're all just gonna fall in love with the middle portion of it and say that everything's fine, and we give them both participation trophies.
Yeah, we're not doing a Venn diagram.
No, because
No, we're
that'll just
talking
result in us liking them both more because we
Yes.
love both of those cars a ton.
Well, I was thinking we could do the 2C versus the 2000 GT, or we could do two people's cars. What if we do the two worst cars from each country?
I would feel a lot better about that.
I would feel much better about that as well.
So, okay, what's the people's car of Japan?
Well, I guess the people's car of Japan would probably. Well, I mean, what are you talking about? Like some
Well,
the
you
ones
just brought up the
Well, I
possibility.
know. I'm just saying, like current people's car, or like what is like
no, just the
one-
worst car ever,
The
basically.
worst car that's ever come out of Japan
Yeah.
would probably be Mazda Protege when they're owned by Ford. That's pretty high up there.
And what about France? They've made
the,
a lot of
the
trash.
Influenza.
All
the,
right.
The Renault, or it was
The Fluence?
The Fluence, yes, that one's pretty
So
awful.
we're doing Renault Fluence versus the first gen Protege.
No, not first gen.
Second
First
gen?
No, it'd be like a fourth gen or something. It's some weird generation. Protege's been around for a long
I guess
time.
I haven't paid attention to that moniker being around. I had one more thing I was.
Well,
gonna-
they were called a Familia, so they were a 323 originally. But I'll have to figure out whatever the worst car is.
Well, I'll just
ever
put
to
it in
have
the
come from
notes, and I'll
Japan.
think about it too. And then there's one more thing I wanted to show you from out there.
Yes.
One of the Monterey teams, they unloaded this thing first out of their stacker trailer. It was parked in the back of it sideways. It's a Mazda. I
Yeah.
can't remember what the badging said, but it's clearly the same thing as like the Cushman and whatever else too. But
No, those are super cool.
So
it says
they
on
were
the door
driving
there.
around all day with that thing,
They're
just like
great
moving
cars.
tires around and stuff. I'm like, that is the perfect pit vehicle.
No, they're really good. Yeah. The guy runs Grid Life. He's got a Honda Street van.
Nice.
That he rolls around in. And what is the name of the Mazda?
I don't know. I
Like,
do
I
have
think
photos
it's-
of the back of it.
No,
I
no,
think.
it should say right there on the door.
Oh, I
see
can
it.
blow it up then.
Yeah, blow it up.
Hold on.
Up, Mazda Scrum.
Yep.
It's a Mazda Scrum.
There
I
it
was
is.
blanking on
Clear as day. Thank you, digital SLR. Even though I might have
what if
taken
we
that with
what
my
if we
phone.
did like the smallest cars each country? ever
No,
made?
no, we're doing worst because
All right,
we all
worst.
love small cars,
Yes, we do.
so we're not doing that.
What is the? Then we judging the worst car off of which one's better or which one's worse?
Worse.
Who made?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Who made the best terrible car?
Yeah, I think we should.
Like-
It should be which is the best terrible car
Because I think since,
on its merits.
since these cars, both these countries, the reason I want to do this is both these countries have extensive automotive catalogs,
Okay.
and saying the worst of the country, this will be saying the country as a whole has done better than the other one.
Sure. Fine.
So that's good reason.
I think either way, the research will lend a lot of light
Yes.
on this. Let's move on
Interesting
to
engineering,
another
TRX wheels.
French
You told me
topic
that.
that was terrible.
All right, TRX wheels.
Yeah.
All right, tell me about it. I don't know anything about this.
Okay, so I did some research on TRX finally. So in the late 70s to the mid 1980s, up into the early to mid 90s, there was a tire design called the TRX. And you'll know these things immediately if you see them on a European car from that period, and they've got a weird tire size that's like 225, 70, 415. I'm like, oh, what?
Wait, 70.
415.
74.
415. No, 70 space 415. So, do you know what's really fucky about
Is that
this?
415 millimeters tall?
It is. No,
What?
that's the wheel size. That's the wheel diameter.
Yeah,
So
that's what I mean, yeah.
the form factor stays the same, but it doesn't add up because the tread size and the profile are still.
Why did they do this?
There's no. Okay, there. I'll tell you why they did it. There's no really good reason, but what they did is back in 1975 when they came out with this technology, tires were either low profile and good at handling, but horrible for ride comfort, or they were the other way around. They were huge sidewalls and really comfy, but couldn't handle for shit. And then this was also around the time when bias ply started going away and radials became a thing, which is where the X came from, because the X letter on a tire means it's a radial ply. So the TR, what it actually stood for was a French word, because Michelin is French. It stands for tension répartie, and that basically means they engineered the tire to both have a small sidewall and to handle and to be comfortable. So the TR from tension répartie and the X from radial is where TRX came from. Why the hell they used a metric wheel size? Michelin is French. Metric system's better. That's why they did it.
It is, but
But they never sold an imperial wheel size TRX tire.
yeah.
So that's kind of weird.
So
Like,
anybody
why
that's
the
got
hell
a-
didn't that happen?
Anybody that's got an imperial size or a TRX size wheel is now shit out of luck for tires.
You can still buy them, but they're expensive. I was actually just talking to my buddy Gary McGinley. He's got an E28 Euro that has, the 15.2 inch? The 415
Oh my
metric
god,
wheels.
that's
He
so
just bought a
stupid.
brand new set from Jegs. Because they have like a wholesale distribution account with the one company that still like buys these Michelin TRX tires or whatever.
That's so stupid.
But anyway, when I was doing some research on this, I mean, I just went on Wikipedia, it's whatever. But they call it the Betamax of the tire industry.
yeah, it really is. No, it's a good description of it.
It's fabulous, and I'm just like, I love the fact that it's French and it's just so goofy.
It's
and
it's technically better, but not.
it was only offered on really interesting cars though. Like they were on like the Renault Alpine, like a bunch of BMW M cars,
Testarossa, 'cause that's what originally brought this
and the
up.
512BB. Yep. The Mondial.
Ooh,
Yeah, that's probably why the one we looked at had speed lines on it.
Yeah,
it could have new
exactly.
tires. Just a bunch of weird shit like that, like pretty much all European. But that's what it was. I mean, it only lasts until, marketable success. It only really lasted until the mid '90s, and actually was fairly popular until then.
Yeah, no,
But then the radial
Ferrari went
technology-
away from
right,
it as well. Yeah.
Right. So I think when the manufacturer started abandoning it, then they just started putting all the TRX like sidewall technology into regular radial tires that you could run on like cars. But I mean, they still make them. This thing says they still make 14 different sizes as of 2014.
God, imagine being the guy with the 15th size that got dropped.
Right? Like, oh, I've got the 315 millimeter 12.4 inch TRX
Fuck,
wheel.
I can't have the original wheels for my Peugeot 505 turbo diesel wagon. No.
They weren't sold on anything French except for the Alpine.
Well,
Oh, never mind. They're on the Renault 5 Turbo. Of course.
Yeah.
Whoops, and the
That guy.
Alpha Sud TI.
yeah,
That is the
guy-
only link on this page that's purple for me. The
That's
Alpha Sud.
hilarious. The Alpha Sud. That's to be the guy with the Alpha Sud.
Yep,
He's to be the guy that's like
correct.
got the wrong sized wheel, and now he's just screwed.
Exactly. I mean, they gave me the list of wheel size.
And then knowing the Alpha Sud,
12.4 inch wheel was the smallest.
and then knowing the Alpha Sud, it probably has like a 4 by like 116 like PCD, so you can't even get wheels for it. And you're screwed. Like it's just enough that like a wobble bolt.
What if a
won't help.
manufacturer drilled their hub where each of the 4 wheel bolts was a different offset distance from the center of the hub? So you can only put the wheel on one way.
I would leave it to Citroën to do that. They would totally would.
I bet a French engineer has done that.
I'm
and
sure it's been a
presented
thing.
it to somebody and it's gotten a long way through the company.
Yeah.
And it didn't come to fruition.
I think it probably like made its way through like a lot, and he probably had very good reason to do that. Because every time you see a French car with something stupid like this,
Well, I mean, you
there's
could-
good reasoning
You could
behind it.
balance your wheel and tire set to your brake disc or your brake drum.
Yeah.
So like really it does kind of make sense.
It does, yeah.
But,
you're right.
like,
but it's still
No, it's pretty dumb.
it's like inboard brakes. Like it makes sense,
Those are
but
super cool.
it makes sense, but in real life, it's a bad idea.
Yeah, pretty much. And that's why they don't exist anymore. I mean, the cost to maintain those, although, man, the number of inboard brakes I saw this last week
Yeah.
far outweighs the outboard brakes I saw this
Yeah, I
week.
bet. It was a big thing for a long time. But I think, there was a point in which shit quality or shit technology is better than good technology
Yeah.
because the amount of labor we have to go into. I think that should be our bombshell we end on.
I'm fine with that.
Every now and then, it's worth having some shitty technology.
Shitty technology births good technology.
Yes, exactly. Well,
Alrighty,
thank you
guys.
very much for listening, and we'll get back to you next.
It'll be Saturday.
Saturday.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
we're
the
back
first
to-
episode you guys will hear will probably be Nick Johannes, I, and
Yes.
Brian May.
Yep, there'll be that one, and then
And
you'll
then you'll
have
hear from
me,
Ryan
Jana, and Ben Sue from
Yep.
Japanese Nostalgia Car. So that'll be very fun.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting. I'm actually looking forward to listening to all those independently.
It's gonna be very odd.
Anyway, I'll catch you next week. Have a good trip to Monterey.
Thank you, and you have a good trip to your house.
I will.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.